So the new moon, July 5th, 2024 is, as you can see over here, at the time of the new moon, this is what the chart looks like. So Cancer, which is the sign that the new moon is in, where the sun is right now, is occupying something called the eighth house at the time of the new moon because of the way the chart rotates throughout the day. And the sun and the moon are kind of hugging a star called Sirius. And so that's interesting too. So we'll talk about that. But overall, this is the chart. Blue lines suggest a lot of movement. Red lines can suggest stuckness sometimes. You can read those differently, but in general, so there's a lot of movement. I would say more movement in the chart around the new moon. So it feels like what is kind of an auspicious new moon with Sirius in the mix and Venus nearby, and all this movement. The good things can be happening now because it's in the eighth house. It could be in your mind. Psychologically, you're working through some things, or you have a new outlook, a new way of looking at something. That alone, I don't know how you're receiving that information, but that's probably one of the most powerful things that could ever happen to a person that can dramatically transform a person's life is if you do suddenly have a new outlook psychologically that just opens your mind and your emotions up in a more positive way. It's one of the better things that can happen to a person in their lifetime at any given moment, because that's when doors open. That's when you get those great creative ideas, the inspiration you need to do something that really moves your life in a direction that you want to move in. So it's a pretty auspicious new moon, and I would say the thing to do with this is to think about what it is you do want to do in your life that's new? Or how do you want to be in your life in a new way? How do you want to exist in your life in a new way? It's not always about taking action. How do you want to feel differently? Do you want to feel better? Most people do. So think about what you would like, first of all. What are you hoping for? What is occurring to you during this time of the new moon? What thoughts are coming into your brain? Like, oh, I'd really like to do XYZ, or oh, I'd really like this. I really like that person. What is occurring to you? These random, seemingly random thoughts and ideas are not necessarily so random. Some of your ideas around this new moon could be your $1 million idea or a really positive direction for you to go in. So I would say, first of all, really connect to yourself. In a water sign like this, it's so you have a lot of extra help to connect with yourself. And certainly with a water sign, that is also kind of the prescription, is to go inward and intuitively understand what you need, what you want, what new direction you'd like to go in. And then because this is aspecting Saturn down here so well, you have the actual get up and go or talent or genius or tools or resources to actually make some stuff happen that you want to make happen. Again, these are Saturn's down in Pisces here in a water sign, but also occupying where Cancer normally would sit in a chart, just kind of naturally speaking. Cancer would be here, but because of the time of day, it's moved up here. But this is also auspicious. A lot of you may be just making decisions around family or decisions around where you want to live, decisions around money and resources. And so it's an auspicious time to be thinking about these things. And I would say if you think you're just getting random thoughts, they're not so random. Maybe start investigating some new ideas and see what you can actually make real in your life. another thing that's kind of positively highlighted here is over here. You can see these more blue lines going over here. This area of the chart suggests action and the ability to get things done in a timely way, to take on bite-sized tasks that you can actually do. Mars here helps you out a bunch. So I think this is a great new moon. Really, it's very auspicious. Notice what you're drawn to. Notice what you feel like changing in your life, and then kind of go for it. Take some steps. And you don't have to do it all, during the new moon. Could be a time you start investigating and just start taking the steps. Now, the red lines going across, remember I said sometimes there's stuckness in the chart. So I would say the stuckness has to do with, hang on a second, let me just stare at this for a second so I can get kind of a generalized message for everybody. It's really the way you think. So the stuckness, so let's say what occurs to you today is, I really just want to live at the beach, but I don't currently live at the beach, and the beach is very expensive. Anything on the ocean is way too expensive for me, but that's what I really want. So what's happening there is you have a desire. I want to live at the beach, but I don't want to just live like 8 miles away from the beach. I want to look over the ocean. That's the desire. Then the thought says, Mercury, Pluto, the thought says that's impossible. Just stop right now. That's not in your budget. So no. And it stops you from moving forward because you're like, well, if I can't live overlooking the ocean, I don't even know if I want to move. I might as well stay where I am. And then you'd be stuck where you are. The negative thought is getting in your way. What you think is a logical thought is actually just, making you less creative, less curious, and getting in the way of the dream of living at the beach, overlooking the ocean. So that's just an example, but there's something in your life that's like that, possibly. So guard those thoughts that get in your way and make you feel stuck. Yeah, but they usually they sound something like, I'd love to do that, but, or yeah, but. It's those kinds of thoughts. So be on the lookout for that. And also be on the lookout for those random desires, those desire thoughts, stuff you'd really love to see yourself doing. And that's it for the new moon. Have fun.